Yes, thank you so much, Naledi. And it's not so much that they are halting the protest. What they've said is that they are willing to embark on a ceasefire only if the university management meets three of their demands. The first demand is to ensure that there's no more policing on the campuses. The so-called bouncers, which are private security, additional private security that Wits University has sourced out, to also be removed, along with the unsuspending of the suspended students and the SRC president. But now I'm going to speak to the current the Deputy President of the SRC, Kamogelo Mabe, to talk a little bit more about these issues and really expound on them. A lot of demands are flying around. Before you have your ceasefire, just clarify for me what are the main points that you're hoping to ensure that the university first sets on the table before you can actually have that roundtable discussion with them.
Yeah, we will continue to reiterate our position. Our position is to ensure that all students are registered. Second to that, there is a reality in South Africa. There is a reality on our campuses of homelessness. Students are homeless. That is one thing that we also need to address. Students without accommodation. What happens to them? So we have set the demand. It is in writing. We want to continue to push that conversation with the hopes that we will emerge victorious beyond anything else.
Now, you know, your press conference was very mature and you guys really expressed yourselves, right? However, again, the issue of the violence undermining the gains that you're hoping to make. How are you going to stop the violence? I don't think it's fair to ask the university to remove the private security and the policing from the university until they can get a guarantee from you as the student leaders and the students that you will compose yourself with the utmost dignity to ensure that you find yourselves in the middle.
We want to negotiate in good faith at this point. We want to negotiate with trust and hope that everyone will pull in their weights. So it is not just a matter of the university simply asking us to cease fire, but us as student leaders, we're also putting in a demand. You want us to cease fire? What can you also bring? Because if we are to negotiate in good faith, that means that there has to first be a level of compromise even before we sit at the table, so that we can trust each other that when we reach the table, there is actually open ears at the table. Because if we simply say ceasefire and we walk in, what is the guarantee that actually we are going to yield any benefits out of the negotiation? So what we are tabling is just simply to say that the university must take us into confidence that they will listen to us, as much as we are taking them into confidence that if they are not there, we will cease the fire. And it is currently happening. There is nothing ongoing. So there is at least some bit of confidence that we are giving the university, and we hope that they will do the same too, so that we can negotiate in good faith.
So your demands for the ceasefire, what are your three demands? Just expand on the three demands of your ceasefire, your pre-ceasefire.
Yeah, so the demands is one, we have said that police in and around the university precincts should be withdrawn because they do form and serve as a form of intimidation to our student leaders and students at large. But most importantly as well, the private security, which we do refer to them as bouncers, we've noted that there has been some cases as well on our campus whereby students who have been part of the protest have mentioned that they are mishandled. And if we are going to negotiate in good faith, then also do show us that the private security can also disperse and be moved off campus, right? And in the third one, we have said that there should be no further suspensions, but most importantly, we still do reiterate our position that there are SRC members and their students who have already been suspended, that we do wish their suspensions be lifted so that we can continue to negotiate in good faith.
All right. So now, before we unpack the rest of this, where is the current president now? Where is he?
The current president, we do note that part of his suspension, they said that he shouldn't be within the university precinct, including his residence as well. So we do hope that the president is safe wherever he is. We have not been able to reach the president since morning. The last time he was spotted was obviously last night, and we do hope that wherever he is sleeping and wherever he is safe, because that is a major concern to the Wits SRC and student populace at large as well, because they do want to see their president.
We understand that he was spotted on the campus grounds yesterday. Why was he on campus grounds?
So,
In light of the suspension, why was he on campus?
yes, you would have seen that at first when he was spotted on campus, the students just simply wanted to see him and they wanted to just see that there is a proof of life from him, and then he should just simply address them. Because it is one thing to say that the SRC president is suspended, but at the same time, he is still someone that is voted in by the students. So the students should at least be able to hear a word from him as well. So the president was simply coming back to his home ground, where he was simply voted in as the president, to simply address and inspire confidence into the masses that are on the ground and still do wish that we can cross the finish line.
Kamogelo, let's circle back to your first answer, the main demands that led to this protest now. I'm struggling to understand how it is that there are students that are sleeping in the libraries, sleeping in the SRC offices. How did we get to that point when the Minister of Higher Education and NSFAS had told the nation that they would be putting in X amount to ensure that we're not seeing these scenes again? Why are we having these scenes?
Well, there's a number of reasons, right? We should note that within the higher education sector, firstly, we have an incompetent department in terms of the NSFAS division on its own. Because if you see the NSFAS right now, what we are battling the most is that students who are on campus without accommodation are mostly those that are appealing for NSFAS, right? Why is it that the academic calendar has started, but we are still having a conversation of NSFAS appeals not having been finalized? When will they be finalized? You probably find that when we go into the block 2, right? Also then comes to, in terms of students who are still awaiting such funding opportunities like NRF, also bursaries. Those are students who are expected to be on campus. It is not like your 2021 and 2022 whereby there was mostly online learning. We are back to physical learning. Students are expected, and we have these things such as your DP requirements where if you do not meet them, then you are not able to progress, which means that next year we are going to be facing an issue now of academic exclusion on our campuses. So all students are worried about their academics, not only immediate but also for future, and they are taking a stance to say that let me be on campus despite the difficulties that I will face. But as student leaders, we can't simply say despite the difficulties that you are faced with. We are saying that we want to address it and we want everyone to have a shelter as per the section 25 of the Constitution of the Republic of South Africa.
So the challenge of those students are those students that are waiting, they are appealing NSFAS. So if these are the students that are appealing NSFAS, why then is vitriol not directed to NSFAS and directed directly to the Department of Higher Education? You said a mouthful when you said that it is a dysfunctional department. Why are you not marching to the offices then of those relevant bodies? Why are you then putting Wits University as your central point of all the vitriol?
At the end of the day, we are Wits University students. This is our campus. So where we are right now, it's a cry to say that the management must understand that these are the people that are within the university. We shouldn't only think of a capitalistic agenda when it comes to the university, but the well-being of students. And when we say that we are going to march to NSFAS or wherever, NSFAS in reality is in Western Cape. Who has the resources? And we do note that within this dysfunctional unit of our Department of Higher Education and Training, why do they only have an NSFAS office in Western Cape? Because you are basically taking away the students' voice in terms of raising concerns to you, right? So that is why we are taking it to the university, because the university should have immediate access to these people and should raise these things so that they understand that the well-being of students is compromised on our campus.
Before I let you go, Kamogelo, the way forward in terms of the actual logistics of how you will be communicating with the university to be able to express your demands for there to be a ceasefire, for you guys to all meet at the round table and try and really find concrete solutions to these critical problems.
Yeah, so obviously the logistics around it is first not seeing the private security. That will be a first point, at least, of being put into confidence. Then the next thing is obviously the black and white of it, that these are the meeting logistics and these are the responses to your demands. Simply black and white, and for us to then go to the negotiation table, then we'll be put into confidence that they are genuine about going through this period.
And if they don't, what is the alternative?
If they don't, we have said that students are not demoralized. That's what I can say.
Thank you very much. Kamogelo, we're going to leave it there. Desiree, that is the now current Deputy President of the SRC at Wits. And he said some very interesting words. He is saying that the departments of higher education, NSFAS, are, they're basically not helpful and they're not assisting with students. And the main reason why they're going to the universities is that is the main point of reference, where they are hoping to get some resolution from the university, for the university to raise their issues to the relevant departments so that there can be resolutions that are put in place. But we will be speaking to Wits management very soon, within the hour. We'll be speaking to Wits management to get feedback from them with regards to the 3 demands that have currently now been tabled by this current SRC, with regards to the 3 demands that need to be met before the ceasefire can be implemented. You heard it from the deputy chair here that the current SRC president, who has been suspended, is off campus and his whereabouts remain unknown. Very difficult, very tense situation here at Wits University, Desiree.